Shit. This is what I'm feeling like. Da, 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 da. Let me tell you what I'm feeling like. Da, 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 da. Yo, what up, though, people? Like to welcome you back to the Keep the C-Note podcast. I am your boy Brown. To the left of me, we got
your boy John in the building.
To the left of John, who we got in the building?
Got your boy Vito,
AKA
Mr. Sam.
Okay, shout out to that. Shout out to everybody that's back tuned in with us. Shout out to Hustle and Heart for the cups, the Call 'em a Uber cup. Shout out to that. If this your first time tuning in, hit the sub button, hit the like button. If you're a regular here, go ahead and leave a comment. Don't be scared. And share the link with somebody, please. Boxing this weekend, Ryan Garcia. He got busy, knocked out Javier Fortuna in the 6th round. How y'all feel about that?
I already knew it was coming.
Yup.
I just think he needs to fight. At this point, him and Tank got to fight.
They gotta fight. I know. I hollered at John. You was a little disappointed in the fight. How you felt, John?
They found that bull like in some boxing gym outside, hanging out like bumming for change. That bull was a straight bum. No,
he was a can.
He
I was gonna say that.
He was a bum.
Who the
bro.
fuck is he? Where
Like, bull didn't even throw his hands. I ain't see no hands thrown. It was just like
Devin Haney said he a little past his prime now.
The bull was past his prime. So
Javier.
Yeah, so like I don't get the promoters. I don't get this fighter. To me, it was a horrible boxing match. I hated every minute of it.
How you feel about him calling Tank out? He said he want Tank next at 140.
He don't deserve him yet, man.
Who does though?
Somebody, listen.
I think he's the
I'm
next in line.
I'm glad you said that, Vito, because here's the thing. You got about 4 or 5 fighters in that division. Everybody else is a can. So if everybody not fighting everybody, they're going to keep fighting these type people. Because Tank not fighting nobody that I'm impressed with.
Wait, the last 2 fights that Devin Haney gave us, they were good fights. They both went to distance. They were hands. They were good fights.
Me personally, what I was going to say, right, it's a lot of ducking and dodging. I feel as though Garcia and Haney is the only one that call niggas out and they willing to fight everybody. They might as well fight each other because Tank, he running some type of movie where this ain't the time. Because the issue going to be with Tank is he going to come to 140? Because Ryan said he's not going to 135
Why do I got to answer this dude if I'm Tank?
Well, maybe you might be onto something. Maybe the win out of Haney and Garcia fight.
Eventually, Tank gotta fight somebody, though. Is what I'm saying.
I would rather see that fight Garcia and Haney. That would be a better fight than me because I think with him and Tank, it would be like waiting for a knockout.
That's what it is. Listen, Tank is his own worst enemy, in my opinion, because I don't feel like he's in shape in his fights. He's relying on that punching power.
Right. So I mean, do y'all want to see Tank Garcia? I want to see it.
No, I don't.
I like Garcia better than
do in the future, but look, no, just because he says his name, he got to run and go fight him, no.
But who is he supposed? If Tank not gonna fight Garcia, who he gonna fight? Haney?
Yeah.
No, he don't. To me personally, like I just said, to me, I don't think Tank deserved to fight Haney because Haney got all them belts. No. Tank ain't fought nobody. At least Haney, like I said, he willing to fight anybody.
I agree, but I'm a little different on my opinion. As far as deserving, I don't know
see,
about
the only problem is that he extra light. Everybody will have to come down to that 140 to meet Ryan Garcia?
Ryan Garcia up there with them. Tank is down there.
I'd rather see Garcia and Tank than Devin Haney and Tank.
No,
really?
Yeah, I like Garcia better than Devin Haney.
And Devin Haney. I think that would be a good ass.
I don't know. I just want to see Tank fight somebody that's not a can. Somebody that's going to punch back and they can knock him out too.
None of them say. Shout out to Boots. He'll knock all them niggas out.
Well, Boots bigger than them. Pause. What's your thoughts, people, on Ryan Garcia talking crazy to Tank? Oh, yes, he did say, though, because if he can't get Tank, he said he will take Teofimo Lopez. How y'all like that? I like that fight, too.
Yeah.
I like Teo.
Me too. But Shakur Stevenson was talking that shit, too.
About
all them dudes. He said, especially
Can't
Tank.
forget about
He
him.
said, if your only way of beating me is knocking me out, you're not gonna win because you're gonna be waiting for that punch all night.
yeah, I mean, I respect. I just can't see Shakur Stevenson with none of them boys, man. To me,
He's solid.
I know he's solid, but I don't know when he finally do take a punch by something that's not a can, how he gonna react. And here, I dislike a little say it with your chest moment. This is why I think boxing is the worst sport ever, because you gonna tell me there's going to be a problem with Tank and Garcia fighting because this one is promoted by this one and they fight on this chant. Like, that is not. I hate that about boxing, yo. That's like the worst. That's the worst thing ever. Like, if they the best, forget who they promoter is. They should somehow fight, split everything down the middle.
No.
You know what I mean? And I think you should do something where maybe the winner gets 60-40, 65-35, something like that. Just you know, I don't know, but you know, what's your thoughts, people? Again, Ryan Garcia, would you like to see him fight Tank? Would you like to see him fight Teofimo Lopez? Keep the C note with us. A video just surfaced on social media is trending about a guy that took his girl out to dinner for her birthday. She had 18 of her girlfriends, and he didn't want to pay for the 18 girlfriends. So she got all crazy with him, calling him broke and all that. Keep it a C-note. What's your thoughts on it?
You got it, Vito.
I feel like she was totally disrespectful and out of line because at the end of the day, you can't expect somebody to do something for you that you wouldn't do. I know damn well she not paying for her own 18 girlfriends.
Right.
So why the fuck you expect him to do it?
Right. What's your thoughts, John?
Like, that's an unfortunate situation because that should have been explained before they actually went out. If 18 your girlfriends met up there, like, I'm not paying for 18-year friends. That's not happening.
Well, that's a self-explanatory.
That is.
But listen, we only got a clip, so with all due respect, we don't know of it. But my thing is this, because me and John was talking about it. I say, if you in a relationship with your girl, right, and she bring 18 of her girlfriends and expect you to pay it, is because she thinks you can cover it, right?
Even if I could cover
No,
it.
I'm just asking. I'm not saying that it was right, but
right.
that's what I'm. You don't think at no way in time she maybe said, "Can I bring a couple of my girlfriends?" And maybe she got excessive with the number. Like, hold on, I ain't say 18 of.
Now, I could see if it was like a cabaret type atmosphere, a dinner party, like where all the food is paid for and you eat, everybody eats. But to have to pay individually for 18 plates.
Right.
Man, stop.
I mean, he might have said, like, I pay for you and a few of your friends to go out, but, I mean, she might have went overboard.
First of all, who the fuck got 18 friends?
Exactly.
Right, 18 of them
and
now.
none of them got jobs? None of them can cover their own bill? Like, what the fuck? What they get you for your birthday?
Listen.
They got to eat for free at your birthday?
But if this your dude, right, why would you go on social media blasting him like that live? Like, come on, people are crazy.
That was his man hyping that shit up to him, bro. His man was more mad than he was.
I would have Diddy bot.
Yo, that to me, that's a crazy situation. I think, I don't know. I just don't think a female would bring that. Like, if she mess with him and she know he ain't got no money, I don't think she would have just brung to me, it gotta be a little bit more than that.
Well, maybe he do got that bread.
He do got that money.
But at the end of the day,
he like F all that.
I know. It's not even about me having the money. It's about the disrespect that you just think I'm automatically supposed to pay for your 18 friends. And then imagine if he does. Imagine where it would go from there. As far as him paying for shit.
Shit, he might be paying for vacations.
18 shit, come on.
So what's your thoughts, people? You seen the video? Was Shorty, was she right for screaming her boyfriend for not paying for the 18 friends? Was he right for saying I'm not doing it? Keep it a scene with us. We had an interesting topic. We was talking about NBA. Top 5 greatest duos ever.
NFL?
No, NBA. When we had a little debate about that, and It was a little back and forth. So, let's do the top 5 right now. Greatest duos of all time in the NBA. Keep it a C note. Who y'all got? My list's a little debatable, like always. It might bring drama, but
All right, who gonna start it off?
Go ahead, start it off, the dream.
I go. My number 5, Wade and Bron.
Okay.
They won a couple chips, went to a couple chips. That just was a good team. It just took probably like a year or two for them to get their shit together.
Okay.
That was a good duo. My number 4, Stockton and Malone.
Okay.
I think they went 20 straight years to the playoffs. Even though they didn't win no shit, they went to a couple.
Yep.
Number 3, Shaq and Kobe.
Okay.
My number 2, Magic and Kareem.
Okay.
My number 1, MJ and Scottie Pippen.
Okay. And let me just ask you, what's your reason for all the players that's on the list? What did you base your criteria off? Greatness? Okay. Who you got, John? What's your top 5 duos?
Shout out to the Big O and Kareem, but they did not make my list.
Shout out to them. They ain't make my list neither.
Number 5, I'm going to have to put, we was talking about this before, Tim Duncan and Tony Parker.
Okay.
I
ain't mad at it neither.
I don't agree with it, but I ain't mad at it.
Karl Malone, John Stockton.
That's 4?
Yep.
Okay.
Number 3, Bird and McHale.
Okay.
No, you got.
I'm a fan of McHale, but he was in a great.
Magic and Kareem.
That's 2.
And then we got MJ and Scottie.
And 1.
Yeah.
Shout out to Vito and Professor X John here. They got the same number 1. Please don't kill me for my list, people. Number 5, I got Shaq and Kobe.
Mm-hmm.
Number 4, don't kill me, y'all. I got MJ and Scottie at number 4.
Hey, man, what's your opinion?
You know what I mean? Number 3, where I feel both of y'all was disrespectful at, I got Isaiah and Joe Dumars as number 3.
Joe Dumars he was a good player. He wasn't a great.
He was
player.
great enough to beat all the. Hold on. Let me finish my list because I want to come back to that. Number 2, I got Stockton and Malone. Number 1, I got Kareem and Magic. And me and John, we was talking the other day. The reason why I got them number 1 is because out of every duo that you really can name, that I can think of, maybe y'all can tell me something different. Kareem was the best center in the league when he played with Magic, and Magic was the best point guard in the league. To me, none of these other duos ever. Shaq, when he was the ball, Kobe was starting to come up, and then they went vice versa with everybody else. Here's my thing, and I was shout out my pop because I was talking to my pop. My pop was like, Isaiah and Joe don't get enough credit where they beat everybody as the main guys. Because we're talking, they beat Michael in them. They beat Magic in them. They beat Bird. They beat everybody. They beat Clyde in them. They was beating guys. And a lot of times we don't give them love. Yeah. To me, Isaiah, at one point in time, if it wasn't for Magic, he would have been the best point guard in the league. You know what I mean? And Joe Dumars, to be his height, he had to guard Mike and all them every night, man. That's a great duo. And like I always say about MJ the greatest ever. I think Jordan could have won with anybody as his second, as his Robin.
True, but he didn't. But he had Scottie.
So shout out to Scottie. I still, they number 4 on my list, but they're only 4 because I think Jordan would have won that with anybody.
See,
Joe Dumars, he not winning. Joe Dumars ain't better than Scottie Pippen, in my opinion.
And my reason why I couldn't have them, I mean, I know that they wanted 2 chips, but they don't have, I can't see, Isaiah Thomas, he was that bull.
Greatness.
And Joe Dumars, he was bull too, but as far as duos and longevity, like, you gotta look at.
They were a duo together.
The only ones who I thought were kind of questionable on my list is actually Stockton and Malone because they did all that. And what did they do? Everybody on my list had rings.
Yes,
rings
don't matter.
It shows how far you went as a duo.
Listen,
how many of them dudes went to the playoffs 20 straight years?
Time out. I ended like this, right? There's a couple things. When you hear duos, Karl Malone and Stockton automatically gonna pop in your head. Time out. No. I'm glad you said that. When you hear pick and roll, you're gonna think first Stockton and Malone.
Hit backdoor cut. Stockton and Malone.
You know what I mean? So what I'm saying is those guys, now we ain't gonna do that. Let me ask y'all this. It's been
them.
Huh?
I said, where to get them?
It didn't get them nowhere. A lot
just let me respond to that real quick. It's a lot of guys that were great that don't got AI don't got no ring.
Yeah,
but
AI, Barkley, a lot of these guys that are really good that don't
are great.
You can put them and you can put them in.
But you're not gonna put a good guy over a great guy just because the good guy got a ring. That's
I mean, they for their longevity, they never did it. They never got over the mountaintop. For all those years that they played.
Who's your number one player all the time? MJ, right?
He is the greatest player of all time. He's not my number one.
Who's your number one?
I have favorites. I like Penny.
Who's your number one? You can't have more than one number one.
I like Grant Hill. It's different.
Who's your number one?
My favorite.
Because Penny and Grant Hill don't got no ring. So who's your number one?
That's what I said. Melo.
Melo ain't got no ring.
He ain't got no ring neither.
So I'm confused. But
okay.
But see, my thing was I never did like the greatest. I always liked people for certain reasons. But I understand
a lot of the people. We're supposed to be great.
But I honestly will put Carmelo where he belongs in the history and stats and stuff. I'm not going to throw him up there because I like him. I do like Melo.
But you still ain't answering the question.
But who's number one? If you got to do a greatest of who's your greatest player? Just without being favorites, who's the greatest? Mike, right?
Yeah.
And who's your favorite player of all time? Out of all of those guys, Penny, Melo,
going up like.
Barkley.
It'll probably be AI. It'll probably be Barkley than AI.
And this is why I asked that question. Is Mike only the greatest because he got greatness, or was it because of his game?
He was the greatest at what he did.
What makes him the greatest?
He was the best shooter, the best free throw.
He was never the best shooter in the league. He was never the best shooter in the league. Mike
Jordan.
Mike was never the best shooter.
Okay, I definitely want to.
Like 8 out of the first.
I want to talk about that, but real quick, I want to ask y'all something that's been trending throughout the week on social media, especially Twitter, because we're talking Stockton Malone. A lot of people are saying that Ewing is better than Malone as an overall player.
He didn't have no second man. That's what I was trying.
No. But I'm just asking y'all, what's y'all opinion on it? Because a lot of people were saying Ewing is.
Ewing, I'm a Knicks fan. Ewing not better than Karl Malone.
And you had a couple people saying that if Ewing had Stockton, he would have had rings. Do you believe
that's possible? But that still don't make it better than Karl Malone.
They had like Greg. They had
who you think was better, John? And who would you take as better player, Malone or Ewing?
Karl Malone.
Think about it. Ewing get hit the trade. Karl Malone ain't shoot no trades, and he number 2
But it
all
depends
time.
on what my team needs because Ewing was bull too.
No, I'm just asking you who's a better player.
Karl Malone all-time scorer.
Right.
Yeah. So
foul shots, and you got Stockton number 1 in steals and assists all time.
Right. Right. All right. So listen.
Where they get you just said your best players was Penny, Melo, and
favorite.
Okay.
But they didn't win.
Why are they your favorite? Because they ain't win shit.
Yeah, but I will be honest on where I place them. My favorites does not have anything to do with where I'm placing.
How did they become honest about? But the question is, why did they become your favorites?
What do you mean? Just because of their style of play?
Because of their game. Yeah. Exactly. Their game made them your favorites, not the wins. You can't judge a nigga strictly. When you go to the playground and you see who's the best player out there, you go off of who got the most game. It don't matter who won the fucking game at the end of the day.
Right. So let me ask y'all this, though, right?
I don't know about that.
Hold on.
Because none of my players were the best.
No,
I never always had like.
And listen to what I just said. If we go to the playground right now and they're playing a full court game,
right,
you can obviously see who's the best player out there, whether he wins or loses.
Right.
Because
I agree. I agree.
Okay.
I agree. But listen, let's talk about Ray Allen. He was talking to the kids, and they were saying about LeBron being the GOAT. He mentioned that LeBron isn't great at three-point shooting, dribbling the ball, or free throws, so he can't be the GOAT. But then in the same sentence, he said MJ was the GOAT. So it's been a lot of talk on social media because MJ didn't shoot threes, first of all.
That's only because of the error, but he did shoot.
He could shoot.
He could shoot. I feel like he's a better 3-point shooter but he took less.
Yeah, but
Definitely a
is
better
that
vibe.
criteria the
No.
right criteria?
No.
Is what I wanted to get at.
No.
It was a bogus.
Because Ray Allen is just a great 3-point shooter, a great free throw shooter, and he can handle the rock.
Yeah.
He ain't the coach.
What you got to say, John? Go ahead,
No,
speak your mind.
but if he is that good in those special areas, because where was Michael Jordan flawed at? Where was he? He played defense. Where was he flawed at?
I don't know. I
I mean,
answer
he
that.
could shoot the three if you tested him.
The three
could-
probably was his least, but he didn't take that many because of the era they played in.
Yeah,
That
you
wasn't
didn't have to take the threes.
As far as post up moves, he
Right,
had it.
everything.
Slasher moves, he had it. He just had it. He had the total package.
Yeah, and again, like I always tell people, if you really go back and watch the games, it was all within the triangle offense. He wasn't ISOing and moving niggas up.
No, he did ISO.
He did, but what I'm saying is most of his buckets came within the flow of the offense. It wasn't like every time I got the ball, clear that shit out.
Yeah.
It was boom, I get to a spot on the offense and boom, I do my move and I'm going. You know what I mean? So what's your thoughts on what Ray Allen said about LeBron James and why he can't be the GOAT? People keep the C note with us. Since we speaking of LeBron, and he's always trending topic, shout out to him. He just played in the Drew League. Skip Bayless always got something to say. You know what I mean? Skip Bayless said that he loved it that LeBron played in the Drew League today. Well, whenever he tweeted it. But he only shot 2 for 13 from 3-point range. He missed the late free throw that could have at least clinched overtime. He said some things will never change. What's your thoughts on it?
That's a fucking off season summer league, and the motherfucker had 40-something points.
Right.
Man.
So he
just out
nitpicking.
there, he out there working on shit. He ain't out there playing his
Right.
real game. He working on the turnaround. and all
So
that shit.
so he was nitpicking.
Yeah.
What you got? What you think, John?
I mean, I'm happy that he's playing in the Drew League, first off. But, I mean, that's to me, it's just mediocre play from LeBron. I mean, I might have expected a little more. And
But if I ain't gonna lie though, you score 40 something and you ain't really playing hard.
What the fuck more you expect?
You know what I mean? Yeah.
70?
I mean,
But
but he broke it down. Like, he missed some key free throws.
Yeah, he
in,
missed.
in the game.
So
And
that's
I
what
mean,
he was saying. Like,
then-
no matter if
and then
it's
he still-
serious or not, some things will
And
never
y'all
change.
know how I feel because he's coming down playing that Steph Curry new generation basketball. You 2 for 13.
He look, you know,
I guess that's
it's-
this
he
new
don't
generation
shoot
just to be
13
okay.
threes in the league.
he-
Right.
So that's telling you he's working on something.
okay.
Right,
Yeah, working
right.
on at the Drew League. We see you.
Right. So,
And if you 2 for 13,
So-
you still have 40
so you
points.
cool with Skip with the criticism?
Some of it, yeah, that's Skip's job.
Okay.
Yeah, that's his job. And if he can't deal with a little, but no, Skip be reaching a lot. He do.
Okay.
He do. I ain't gonna lie. He be
But
reaching a lot.
I felt like he was agreeing with his reach.
Yeah, he was
Sometimes-
agreeing
no,
with
some-
it.
No, but sometimes I do. That's
With-
the
I'm
problem.
talking about
And
with,
then-
this- right now.
with this reach. Did you agree with it? The
I
2
mean-
for 13 threes. Basically,
But see,
he's saying is
I
a
agree
nigga
with-
that can't shoot nowhere. That's what he's saying.
And you
But
can
see,
still get 40
as a
something
sport
points.
analyst, I would have thought it, but I wouldn't have made it. I wouldn't have put it out there. I would have made it none of my segment though.
Did you
Okay.
see the highlights of the game?
Yes.
You see 90% of the shots he was taking was turnaround J's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, man. And he had 40 points.
What's your thoughts, people? How do you?
fadeaways, man?
I think John really agreed
he
with
do.
Skip on the love.
He do.
You know what I mean? What's your thoughts on Skip Bayless grinding LeBron up about the Drew League? He missed that clutch free throw. How y'all feel about it? Keep it a C note. Let's talk Philly, hometown, North Philly. We just had a couple of weeks ago, we had a couple of kids beat on a 73-year-old man in North Philly, and the man passed away. They've now charged a 14-year-old girl and a 14-year-old boy, both with third degree, I believe, and also conspiracy, and they charged them as an adult. What's your whole take on the situation? Keep the C note with us.
As they should.
As they should what? What part? Let us know everything,
I
John.
mean, it's a messed up situation. It just makes us look bad, and I mean, and you can't really blame it on the parents. You can't. I mean, I think the parents, they have to take some responsibility. I mean,
Why can't you blame it on the parents?
Because peer pressure nowadays is out of this world now in Philly. But still at the same time, the kid was too young, so that's why I still put it on that parent.
Oh yeah, I was about to say because it's like 2 something in the morning and you got
like,
10-year-olds out
something's
and
wrong.
all that. So the parents need to get a little attention on it.
Yeah, so
My thoughts. What you got, Vito?
First and foremost, at 14, no child at 14, I don't give a fuck what they do, should be tried as an adult.
I agree.
Because at that age, you don't know what the fuck. Even though you might be beating on somebody, you don't really know.
Yeah.
Even as an adult, to a certain age, you don't really know what the fuck is going on.
I agree.
Yes, I agree with that.
For one, for two, as far as the parents, you can give them some of the blame, but at the end of the day, when you young and you just running wild, it's not so much like what can your parents really do to you?
So they succumb to the peer pressure then at that point, right?
No, I'm just saying in general.
What I'm saying
so if
is
they running wild, what subjects them to run wild? There's elements that are put in place.
It's not everybody peer pressure because if it's 5 people, the first person that sets shit off, who's peer pressuring him? Nobody. He's setting it off. So
they all, you know how that go. They all amping each other up
so
for somebody to
say. So what about when they out
say.
there on their own doing dumb shit? Because let's not act like we didn't do dumb shit on our own.
Yes, but I'm saying
can't play
so that's why I also blame parents. It's not all the parents. It's not all on them, but they also have to take some blame.
Let me say something. Right, I agree with you. They should not be getting tried as adults for one. But here's the thing. It's a lot going on in this world, right? Me and my wife, we had a debate all the time and all that. Right now, you can't send your kids, go stay with Uncle Tommy for the weekend or Aunt Mary, because 9 times out of 10, people don't watch their own kids these days. So they're not going to watch your kids. What I'm saying is no way them kids was out. One of them, 10 years old at 2:30 in the morning.
So whose fault is that at that point?
That's what I'm saying. The parents have
What if they snuck out? What if the parents sleep and got to go to work in the morning? Them kids snuck out and the parents don't know. How can you blame them? And on the flip side, you saying blame the parents. What about the other side, the rich people who have rich kids? Them kids getting the shit all the time, catch cases and all that shit.
They got the money to cover that shit.
But that's not just an excuse of saying because they got
no,
the money
it's
to
not.
cover it.
No,
I'm
it's
talking
not.
About what
right?
he just said. He said they got money to cover
they
it.
do. That's a reason.
But who do you still blame the parents on that side?
Yes, you gotta blame the parents.
Wow, they got everything.
Just because they get to wash it away because they got all this money does not make them excuse them from being bad parents.
With the time out. What's messing a lot of people up these days is no matter how much money you have or don't have, is the attention you pay to these kids. If a rich parent is just giving the kid whatever they want, how you think so many rich kids overdose and all that? Because the parents is feeding them money and all types of gifts that they want, but they're not paying no attention to these kids.
Now listen to this. On the flip side, I know personally people that have one parent who was a crack fiend their whole life, was never there for them, and they never had a case, never got in trouble with the law.
Yes.
So you can't necessarily say it's the parents. You also got to take
I'm saying today, most of this is... Listen, with social media, time out. With social media, you seeing these kids in multiple videos where they got guns in them. These parents got social media. They know what their kids is out here doing. What I'm saying, as a child, right? If I know that my mom is going to be asleep at 11 and I can sneak out tonight, I can sneak out every night. So what I'm saying is somewhere along the line, you need a little bit more attention on these kids because you don't know what the fuck is going on and they're living under your roof. Yep. That's my thing.
So how do you prevent them from sneaking out if you sleep?
You gotta come up with something.
What
I'm saying is, I'm not even saying, what I'm saying is you should know. It shouldn't take for a 73-year-old man to be dead for you to know, oh, damn, my kid's been sneaking out 2, 3 in the morning on the weekends. Like, no, you shouldn't see your kid with a gun on Instagram before you know he done shot 4 or 5 different dudes.
Man.
Come on, bro.
That's
not
easier said
that's
than
not
done.
no, that's not paying
If
attention.
your child lives in a certain area and they be with a certain group, even if they don't be with a group, because just on the strength of where you live, you're guilty by association. You probably don't even be in the street. You could be a school kid.
Yes, but what I'm saying is, if you don't pay no attention, if you don't pay no attention, what I'm saying is, right? If you can live in the best neighborhood ever, if you see these kids, every time I pull up at around 4 o'clock, these kids is out here doing, that's you being aware. Now you know that something is going on. Like, these parents don't know what's going on with their kids. Like, it's impossible, bro. Like, you telling me.
Okay, you said it's impossible. So if it's impossible, that means they can't control the situation because it's impossible.
I don't know. I'm just saying, to me, I think these kids need a little bit more attention because, again, if you live in a neighborhood, right? I don't care how much you work. You know that little Ray from around the corner is a knucklehead. You know little Mook from 3 blocks over is shooting stuff. So as soon as the first time you see your son or your daughter with little Mook, that's when you supposed to take action. It shouldn't be 4 months later you find out that your kid's running around sticking people up with Mook. That shouldn't happen.
Now, when you see them with this kid and you tell them, yo, don't be around here, knucklehead.
Nah.
Hold on, let me finish. And you tell him, don't be around this guy because he into this, that, and the third. And then once you tell him, and then he goes back outside and he's around the kid, like, what do you do? What do you change? How can you keep him from around that kid? Because even if you keep him in the house, he still got to go to school. So he can be around that kid at school, after school, in between.
At least you know.
Even if you know.
What I'm saying is, at least you know and you tried to do something. What I'm saying is a difference from you finding out they've been hanging with Mook and them down the street and now he's on the news. They wanted for 3 murders. That's a difference. At least I know I tried. I did everything that I could. I sent him to his dad. If he got a dad, I sent him to his grandmom. I did everything that I could do. You see what I'm saying? So whatever happens then, but what I'm saying, a lot of the times that's not happening with the parents. The parents are finding out when their kids are on the news, bro.
But this is my question. What's the difference? I know the difference, but what does it matter? Even if I told you don't do this and you still do it, or if I
because
didn't, you still fucking do it.
You can try to take actions. Like I said, you can try to.
What can you possibly do to keep your child from around that guy?
You can send the kid to live with somebody else.
And then that same Mook from your neighborhood, there's one in every neighborhood in the fucking world.
Yes, but what I'm saying is, you it's a difference from trying.
He got to take.
I understand, but it's a difference from you trying to you not knowing what's going on at all. That's totally 2 different things, Vito.
I feel like it's fucking worse if you're trying and you still can't get across to the child.
Nah, because my thing is once I send you somewhere else to your grandmom, to your aunt somewhere, and that don't work.
Other people don't watch their own kids.
What I'm saying is my family. What I'm saying is if I got a good kid right now, right? My kid is good, but he's hanging with these kids that I know is in this stuff. Then boom, I can pull him away. I can send him to his grandmom's house. I can send him over here with the people that I trust. And then if that goes wrong, then we got to look at other options. But I'm not just going to be out here and don't know that my kid has been running around sticking people up with these other kids, especially.
You ain't going to find out till something happens. He could have been doing shit for years and you won't know.
Yes, but you will know when you see him with Lil Mook and them. You already know where he's headed. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
You don't never see him with them guys.
Come on, man.
What if your son is Little Mook in the whole time?
It could be, but what I'm saying is somehow or another, as a parent, if you don't find out, there's no way you just out here fucking lost. It's too many newsy neighbors in this world. Especially
not now.
In Philadelphia, is newsy neighbors.
Newsy neighbors ain't like it was back in the day.
Time out. It's a bunch of newsy neighbors today, and there's cameras everywhere. So your neighbor from down the street that's newsy as shit, she got your son on camera When he punched somebody in his mouth with Mook and whether she told you or not, they know. So what I'm saying is you gotta, as a parent, to me, you gotta be more in tune. But what's your thoughts, people? 2 kids, 2 14-year-old kids, a boy and a girl charged with 3rd-degree murder and conspiracy for beating an old man to death. 73-year-old man, how you feel about it? Keep it a C note. What you got to say?
I got a spin-off question for that. So if you seen your child on TV, you saw your child brutally attacked like this old man, and they're searching for your child, you as a parent, do you have your child turn himself in?
Fuck no.
No?
Okay.
For legal purposes, I plead the fifth. I leave it at that. The lefty don't got no problem, man. I plead the fifth on that question. How about you, John? Keep it a C note.
It sounds like his answer.
Yes.
That question.
Keep it a C note, John.
I don't know. I haven't crossed every. I'm still processing on how I would even deal with that if my child did that. Like, damn. Because like if you don't turn yourself in, they know who you are. You're gonna be on a run for the rest of your fucking.
But are you turning your son in?
No, I'm not going to turn my son in. But I mean, I would give him. Like,
I
would lay out his options.
Here's the thing, real quick.
I would definitely lay out his options.
To me, like everything that I just said about the parents and not keeping an eye, not being on tune. This is from experience because I will keep it a C note and say I was those kids at one time. We used to do that. Punch on people on the streets for no reason, crackheads and all that. But I will also keep it a C note and say that my mom really didn't care what I did at a point in time. Okay, so I'm going to keep it a C note.
You know why? Because you noticed the key word you said at one point in time. Because the buildup of you keep doing dumb shit and her saying shit, she never said nothing to you about the dumb shit.
My situation was different because I think at one point in time my mom had me too young.
Did she ever check you about the dumb shit you did in the streets?
Yeah, she used to.
Exactly.
But what I'm saying,
buildup of you not listening.
What I'm saying is a lot of the shit that I became was because of my mom. Because my mom, like I said, she was a kid when she had me. So when she got into her later years and she was hustling and all that, we seen all that shit. She had us right there in the mix of all that shit. So I always used to tell her that a lot of the stuff that she complained about me becoming was a lot of the stuff she played the part in. And I don't know if y'all seen the guy that just passed he was on death row and he's about to get executed. He wanted to read the letter to his mom. And he read the letter to his mom, and it was basically like, when I stole that first bike, you helped me hide the bike. When I did this, you helped me do that. So he's basically was saying throughout the years that you enabled me to do this shit. You know what I mean? And now when it got to a certain point and all that,
when you got to a certain age, you should know right from wrong, and I shouldn't be doing that dumb shit no more. Come on, man. You can't blame them. Let me ask you this, though. As far as y'all saying peer pressure,
never say peer pressure.
Peer pressure. Do you ever heard of a product of your environment? Sometimes it ain't got nothing to do with peer pressure.
Yeah, that's environmental peer pressure.
Yeah, I never.
It is. That's another way of looking at it. I'm sorry. If this dude, I'm sorry, at whatever project or whatever in room 101A, I'm sorry, they're all subjected to that lifestyle.
You ain't never heard of it?
There are going to be some special ones that make it out, yes, but for majority,
heard saying you turn this man into a monster. That if you live in the
you
area
can turn somebody
and you're
into
not
a monster.
into no street shit, but you're from this area, and the other areas beef with you, and they know you from that hood, and they run down on you. That can turn that man into a monster.
Not just that. I know kids that was good kids.
Yes, I know.
And I'm talking about from my era. Mm-hmm. They were good kids and got shot on some stuff that they had nothing to do with, just being innocent bystander, and they turned into complete monsters. Just off of that. Good kids, just hanging around, might come out the store, you catch a straight bullet, all of a sudden you a
experience that made them change.
Yeah, I can see that. But But what I'm saying is, I never say peer pressure because I've never
I
never
think
believed in peer pressure.
If y'all don't believe in peer pressure, going to any one of these middle and high schools. Wait. If y'all go to any one of these middle and high schools, and you're telling me that there's not peer pressure on how these young boys and how they all almost they're all almost uniform.
But let me ask you this: let's just go off experience. Because when we went to school, it's a lot of nut stuff that our homies, our squad did. Mm-hmm. And it was stuff that you indulged in. Mm-hmm. And then it was stuff that you like, nah, I'm not with that. And you didn't indulge in. Mm-hmm. So it wasn't like, come on, John. Like, it never was like none of that peer pressure.
See,
it was your own choice.
That's why I said peer pressure and parenting. Because I had the parenting aspect in the back of my mind that made me say, no, let me not do that.
What I'm saying, peer pressure is more so if you say you don't want to do this and we like, come on, John. We never were like that. Never towards.
I'm not using
but that's why I'm just saying you can learn off experience because it's a lot of people like you in neighborhoods that's going to be like, nah, I'm not with that. To me, peer pressure, when you use peer pressure, it's like enabling somebody that's doing shit because you're giving them an excuse on why they did it. But in all actuality, they was going to do it anyway.
It's about choices.
I see environmental peer pressure all the time, whether you might not see it in the way that, somebody amping you up, but it's what's socially acceptable in the neighborhood and what y'all going to keep doing because that's what we're used to.
But listen, I understand. I can't be peer pressured if I'm going to do it or not. But my thing is that there's definitely peer pressure around because some people fall victim to it. But what I'm saying is, when I said before, if you got a group of kids, nobody's peer pressuring the one dude who sets it off because that's what he's into. That's what he wants to do.
And time out. Before we go to the next topic, I will say a lot of y'all mistake peer pressure. That's not peer pressure. Most of the time, that's manipulation. What it is one person can manipulate everybody else to do all type of nut stuff and be on the tight time that they're on. You see what I'm saying? So it's never peer pressure. It's just manipulation. And most of the time, like I said, you're not a fit in bunch. I'm not trying to fit in. So what I'm saying is if they're going to go do something crazy and I'm not with it, I'm stepping off no matter how y'all look at me. That's you. That's a choice. Yep. These other kids don't have that choice, but at the end of the day, nobody ever manipulated you or tried to manipulate you.
And let me add to that. And I respect that type of guy more than I respect the guy who would just run along and do anything. I respect you because if you say, if they say we about to go rob somebody, you say, I ain't into that. That means you're taking yourself out of that because if you're not into that and you get caught up, 9 out of 10 you're gonna snitch because you're not into that.
Right. And then the other guys that didn't take your path, but they got manipulated, most of them is gonna crack and tell. That's just how it go. So what's your thoughts on that, people? You see your kid on the video you was asking, would you turn them in? Keep it a C-note with us. We was just talking duos, right? Let's go NFL duos. Who's the greatest top 5 quarterback, wide receiver duos all time? Who you got? Keep it a C-note with us.
Who you got, Vito?
Let's get it, Vito.
No, I'm going to let y'all start it off.
I set it off. At number 5, shout out the team that I think will be playing this year in the Super Bowl, the Buffalo Bills. Jim Kelly, Andre Reed, they got busy for years. They went to 4 straight Super Bowls. They didn't get a win, but they definitely was getting busy. My number 4, Ramley, Kurt Warner, Torrey Big Game Hope. Torrey came right in the league with the greatest show on turf, won a Super Bowl over a stack his first couple years with Kurt Warner. Cemented itself as one of the greats. That's my number 4. My number 3, I gotta go Cowboys, Troy Aikman, Michael Irvin. They definitely got busy. Disclaimer for my number 4, it was split, so you can do Warner, Torrey Holt, or Warner, Isaac Bruce. They were that nice. My number 2, I got Peyton Manning and Marvin Harrison. Shout out Marv, straight out of Philly. They got busy. I don't know if they still got the record for most touchdowns together, but I know they was up there. My number one would also be a split / Joe Montana and Rice. Young and Rice, 49ers fans, you figure it out. Vito would probably go Young Rice more.
No, I go Montana Rice.
Okay.
Played together longer.
But yeah, I mean, they both played together, I think, 7 years, if I'm not mistaken from what I read.
No, I felt, but I'm talking about Rice was better with Montana.
Okay. So that's my 5. Who going next? Who y'all got?
At number 5, I got Michael Vick and Deshaun Jackson.
Call him an Uber right now. Pull your cup up. Pull his cup up. Just point to it. Just point to it.
Yeah, I'm biased. It's going to be
something. Yeah, it's cool. Go ahead, be biased.
And then on 4, I got Aikman and Irvin. Then I got Young and Rice. Then I got Montana and Rice.
Okay.
And I got Peyton and Marvin.
Okay, at 1. Yeah, call this boy Uber. You better off saying McNabb and T.O.
How many Rams duos did you call out? 2?
Nah, just 1. It was just split. Whoever you want to take.
All right. My number 5, and the only reason why I gave them 5 because they wasn't together long, but what they did in that year, it was crazy. I gotta go Brady and Moss for that.
Yeah, I was gonna put them up there, but Reed and Kelly kind of trumped that.
But that's my 4. Reed, and I want to give you a shout out because I ain't knew nothing about Andre Reed.
Yeah. Shout out to that. I know a little bit, man.
My number 3, Peyton and Marv. You already know. My number 2 was Young and T.O.
Okay.
My number 1 was Montana and Rice.
Okay.
And just let me say this: Aikman and
Irvin
were great together, but if you go look at their numbers, they ain't all that eye popping.
They were still great together.
They were.
Shout out Marino, Mark Duper. That's probably another duo that I could have seen on there. A lot of lists I seen had Peyton and Reggie Wayne high too. So I don't know. What's your thoughts, people? Keep it a C-note with us. Top 5 greatest NFL duos. Quarterback, wide receiver, who you got? Let us know. While we on the NFL, Justin Jefferson, he said Devontae Adams is the best receiver in the league. But he says after this season, he will be the best receiver in his league. How do you feel about that? Keep it a C-note. The whole statement. Pick whatever you want to pick from it.
I ain't mad at that statement because he's, in my opinion, like he's up in the top 5 right now. And he's playing with a quarterback who is not as good as a quarterback Devontae Adams had.
Okay.
And his numbers is crazy. What are you in 2 years?
Yep.
His numbers
3rd year coming up.
For 2 years, and they do a lot of running with Cook.
Yep. What you got, John?
Same thing. I mean, I consider him to be like a top 3 NFL wide receiver coming into the year anyway. Yep. So I think it's a little bold statement. I mean, but it's just confidence.
Mm-hmm. So, shout out to him for the confidence.
It's not far fetched because he's one of them top balls that actually has the potential to do it. So I mean,
ain't no doubt.
Yep. So,
ain't no doubt. Shout out to Justin Jefferson for the confidence. My cup, though. Call him a Uber. I'm going to just say it one time. You got a chance to be the best receiver in the league. But right now, that's Cooper Kupp. I'm just keeping it a C-note with you. Let's go top 5. Defensive lineman. AFC right now. Who you got? Keep it a C-note.
Let me set it off.
Go ahead, Vito.
AFC, I got, now, it depends on how you look at it, because some of these guys outside linebackers, some of these guys even, but I don't give a fuck what they tell me. I'm putting it like this. My number 5, DeForest Buckner.
Okay.
My number 4, Max Crosby.
Okay.
Number 3, Joey Bosa.
Okay.
Number 2,
Joey. Okay. Yeah, you put Joey Bosa. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Go ahead.
My number 2, Garrett.
Okay.
My number 1, T.J. Watt.
T.J. Watt. So you used a couple of the linebackers from last week.
But that's what I'm saying. I don't know.
Go on. We're going to let you slide.
But I'm saying, when I look up linemen, Watt is listed as a lineman, and Watt is also listed as a linebacker.
Yeah, but he listed as an outside linebacker. He's just an edge rusher, so that's why they got him as a lineman.
All right, so it depends. It also depends on the system you run 3-4-4-3.
Yeah, that's too. Well, a lot of the edge rushers is in the 4-3 is DEs. Pause. Who you got, John?
I got number 5. I got DJ Reader from the Bengals.
Okay.
Jeffrey Simmons from the Titans.
Okay.
DeForest Buckner from the Colts.
Okay.
I got Chris Jones from the Chiefs.
Okay.
And I got Cameron Hayward from the Steelers.
That number 1?
Yep.
See, you did interior defensive lineman. That's the difference.
You didn't put Myles Garrett on your list?
Shit.
But Myles Garrett ain't nothing but
he
the same
does.
as TJ Watt.
He a defensive end. Myles Garrett.
See,
Listen, my top 5 is at number 5. I got Jeffrey Simmons from Tennessee, defensive tackle. Chris Jones at number 4 from Kansas City. He's a defensive end. Number 3, Max Crosby from Vegas. He's a defensive end. I think they said Max Crosby had the most pressures last year by like 15 over Aaron Donald. So anybody that can have anything over Aaron Donald, I salute you. My number 2, Cameron Hayward from Pittsburgh. Number 1, and Cameron Hayward is a DE. Pause. Number 1, Myles Garrett. Defensive end out of Cleveland. You know what I mean? What's your thoughts, people? Your top 5 defensive linemen right now in the AFC. Who are they? Now let's go to the NFC. I'll set it off. At number 5, I got Kenny Clark, Green Bay. He's a nose tackle. Number 4, I got Jonathan Allen, defensive end out of Washington. Number 3, Cameron Jordan, New Orleans, defensive end. He's still getting busy in his 30s. Number 2, shout out Vito Samuels. I got Nick Bosa, defensive end, straight out of San Fran. And my number 1, come on, man, Aaron Donald, defensive tackle, Super Bowl champion, LA Rams. Who y'all got? Keep it a C-note.
All right. I got lineman. Like
okay, that's cool.
My number 5.
Our number 1 is the same, so it's good.
My number 5, of course, Fletcher Cox, Eagles.
Okay, shout out Fletcher. Fletcher ain't been that for like 4 or 5 years, but shout out to you. Should have put the other guy on there. What's his name? Hargrave. Yeah, you got him on there too. Oh,
he's my number
4. Pardon me.
Hargrave, and then I got Jonathan Allen.
Okay.
Kenny Clark.
Okay.
And then I got your Aaron Donald.
Ooh, okay. Who you got, Vito Samuels? No Nick Bosa?
But you know who I like, though?
No Nick Bosa for you.
No Nick Bosa and you, but I like that. What's the big bull? Vita Vea from the Bucks.
Tampa Bay, yeah. Vita, nice.
My number 5, I got Eric Armstead from the 49ers.
Okay.
My number 4, I got Cam Jordan, the old head.
Okay.
Number 3, I got Chase from the Commanders.
Okay.
My number 2, I got Bosa. And number 1, I got Aaron Donald.
Okay, shout out to that. So you got Chase Young after the injury and all without seeing him again?
I'm talking about Chase Young I've seen him get busy as of now. I don't know where he is after injury because he hasn't played yet.
Oh yeah, that's why that's why he didn't make my list. But what's your thoughts, people? We all know who number 1 in the NFC defensive lineman, but who's your top 5 defensive linemen in the NFC? Keep it a C-note with us. Next up, we need a drum roll. We need something. We need some spooky music or something for Conspiracy Corner with my man John, a.k.a. Professor X. Like, what you got for us this week, John?
It was something I saw on the clip with the comedian Godfrey that I used to talk about all the time, and I think that I believe that this is by design, that there is no black economic front for black people. We have no banks. We have no just straight financial institutions meant for us. Right. And to me, what bothers me the most about black folks is that we are walking endorsements for everyone else to coat ride and steal the next wave from us. And I just don't get it.
So the conspiracy is what? They boxing us out?
Oh yeah, we had the Black Wall Street down in Tulsa, Oklahoma, but we see how what happened with that.
Right.
They starting up one right now, like in Atlanta, like a little Black Wall Street, and
You know, we had something similar to that in North Carolina back in the day too.
I mean, and I wish every major city and on all these states would have one. Like black folks need one in every 50 states. We need
what though? Like self-contained. Like I feel like segregation was a big problem because I feel like we should all be to ourselves. It's like you can branch out and deal with each other, but at the end of the day, but on top of that, even if we're all black, everything, at some point you still got to deal with the white people.
So let me ask you this, right? When you go all black everything, and the black people still venture over there to the other side, then who's to blame for that? Because
you're always going to have people going over to the other side.
What you mean, venture to the other side as far as what?
What I'm saying is everything is black owned. Like, you don't always get the support from the black. So then what? You see them?
Listen, on that side, I agree with that. But if you got like a whole black contained situation, like the whole area and everything you need is there, even if the products are white. Like, say for example,
I'm saying is you're always gonna have those groups of people. It's like I'm still going.
Yep.
So whose fault is that? Because a lot of times my thing is with the black owned stuff don't take off like that a lot because the blacks don't support it.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
So it's like how can you?
But see, the sad part is that when we don't spend that money within our community, because that could be a continuous cycle within us. You go over there and you spend that money with them. That money ain't coming over here. That's why I said we need some stores. You don't see any like Asians or whatever coming over to shop at your stores, and I think it's time that we actually need to force them because we're supporting all these Chinese stores on every other corner, all these poppy stores and. But what do we have for ourselves? We get what? We got some hair. We got some barbershops and hair salons. We got some Caribbean food spots. Like, are you serious? We got some.
But what I'm saying is,
what do we have?
If you name any major avenue on Philadelphia, let's say 52nd Street, you take 6 blocks and make it all stores from black people.
They're gonna get business.
They're gonna get business, right? But let's think of all the people that's going to say, oh, that stuff fake, and I'm going to go to the gallery, or, oh, that stuff fake, I'm going to go to Saks, and, they price is too high, I'm going to go. That's what you're going to have when you have, and then whose fault is that? Because you can't blame. What I'm saying is, when them black businesses end up folding because it's not support, you can't blame the other people if people not coming, right?
But see, the misconception that we're going over there to buy some Chanel, that they don't give a fuck about us. Some Gucci, they don't give a fuck about us.
Right.
So, whatever, Goyard, anything you can find, they don't give 2 flying fucks about us. But we will spend our last dime to look nice in that shit, as opposed to doing the reverse and spending it within your own community. Imagine what you would have got.
I understand that, but my thing is what I'm asking you, is it more so people holding us back and so we can accomplish this? Is it our own people not supporting enough?
I see what you're saying, and I think it's too many people that are not shopping with us, because if there was more people that were shopping within the black community, it would just be more of a norm. And we're not at that point where it's more of a norm to be like going on the website. You know what? I need some detergent. I'm not going to go to CVS. I'm going to go on this website and order this black.
Right.
Until we get it to the norm where everybody around you, more and more people are doing
that's even when I told y'all with the healthy stores. If you put a healthy store next to each McDonald's, that doesn't mean people going to go in it.
No.
You know what I mean?
It also has to do with being pre-programmed. They've been shopping with these people.
That's what I thought he was going to say. So, I was waiting for him to say program.
And you know how most black people think, oh, if something new pop up, motherfuckers ain't jumping right onto that, because you got to see it come along before a motherfucker jump on. And like I was saying, if you got one neighborhood with all these black-owned stores, even if they're selling name-brand products that are made by white people, but they're black-owned stores, I feel like people would shop there,
right? As
opposed to just automatically going out to the white-owned stores selling the same product.
Right.
I feel like they would get business.
My thing is, though, even with the programming, if we are programming, if you look at these billionaires, right, their images, How many images you gonna pull up where they got Goyard and they Louis, like they're dressed basic, you know what I mean? They're not too flashy, and even if it is Gucci or something, you're not gonna know it's Gucci or something. You see what I'm saying?
But
so
I know FUBU, Rocawear, that shit did numbers, and that's black-owned businesses. So
right, but possible. They're famous. So what I'm saying, what about if you're taking that whole block, and I'm talking about people that's not famous? Because
right,
if you're popular,
even if you're white and you're not famous, no motherfucker's not buying your shit. If, like, for example, people buy Gucci, Prada, and Louis because it's famous and people promote it. If the regular average white person comes along and makes some shit, people ain't buying that shit.
Right. Well, it depends on what it is and who it is. Yeah. Because if there's somebody with popularity, what I'm saying with FUBU, you had popular people, LL and all of them at the time. With Rocawear, you had Jay.
Who made FUBU wasn't real.
Yeah, but even with Jay, with Rocawear, when you had Rocawear, they boomed, but Jay-Z was the biggest artist in the world.
I definitely understand that, but on the flip side with FUBU, the people who made FUBU, like Dame and John, they're really not mainstream names.
Right. But they got the people that...
But like Milano did good numbers, and she's not famous.
Shout out to Milano. You know, definitely get busy.
The only thing that happened wrong with FUBU,
they had design flaws to me. That's all it was.
But not time out though. Time out.
I just thought it was a whole bunch of design
time
flaws.
Time out though. Even what I'm saying about the black people supporting, black people killed FUBU. Black people was killing FUBU. Remember, in Philadelphia, you got clowned for wearing FUBU, even if it was black owned and all. So our people kind of killed that black business. That's what I'm saying.
It was a designer flaw. Like Rocawear, that was cool. People wore it. State property, people wore it. It was cool.
Yeah, but if you go back and look at that state property Rocawear shit we was wearing, it was out of pocket. Yeah, the pockets was this fucking long.
But that's just, that was with the generational like dress code at the time.
Like you could wear baggy clothes. You could put a fucking whole thing in your back pocket. Like,
but that's the truth. That was the era.
Shout out to Rocawear.
Sean John did good numbers. Sean John shit was not always nice though.
Right.
More so not with all the baggy shit.
So keep it a C-note with us, people. Are they holding black businesses back? Are they keeping us down? Or is it us?
It's both.
No, it's both. It's both though. I mean,
but let me ask y'all a question, because y'all conspiracy guys, right? Sometimes I don't be sold on a lot of stuff. So I hear we want to depopulate. We want to bring the numbers down. But when you take something like Roe versus Wade, that's going to bring more numbers, because you're saying we can't get rid of kids now. And so help me understand the contradiction in that. Is it about depopulation, or are we reaching with this?
Let me say this. It's definitely, they definitely want to depopulate, but certain people.
Right.
Roe versus Wade is more so catered to the white, because think about it, if we're the majority, it's really not catered to us. Like if the white people are majority, and I say something where they're having less children than us, so they're saying the white race is in danger, basically.
Oh, like going extinct?
Not extinct, but it's going to be where they're not going to be the majority in a certain amount of years.
Okay.
So that's why that like. If you go online or YouTube, it's a video up with Trump, and there's some white lady is talking, and she's basically thanking the people for doing this. And I forgot exactly what she says, but basically
white
how
power.
Trump said make America great again.
Yeah.
She's along them lines as far as helping the white population escalate.
Okay. What's your thoughts, John? Help me understand this, because you conspiracy ball.
Yeah, because for one, what's her name? Margaret Thatcher, saying whatever the fuck her name was. She with the founder of the Planned Parenthood.
Right.
She was not for us blacks.
Okay.
And if you look at the numbers of like aborted babies, like over the years, you would see the high numbers of black babies that were aborted. And not to mention like all the creepy shit not that I think that they do at Planned Parenthood with those babies after they're aborted.
Like what?
It's
because I've seen stuff where there's time out. Anybody eat Cheetos, Doritos? I've seen all the bull crap conspiracy. I don't mean to call it bullcrap. Pardon me, conspiracy theorist people, but the red stuff from is like parts from aborted babies or sauce. Have y'all ever seen that with the Doritos, the Cheetos, and that's why it stay in your hand like that?
You can make a conspiracy out of anything.
A lot of it be confusing me, so I'm saying, like, help me understand.
But what is the most sought after thing that nobody hears about? And I know it's something big because you don't hear about it at all. And that's this thing called adrenochrome. And where do you get it from? You get it from young infants,
right?
And you could get it from who's probably the biggest supplier of that shit? Probably Planned Parenthood,
right? But what I'm asking you though, John, is if blacks are aborting babies at this high rate, right? And you want to depopulate, especially because of blacks, why are you overturning Roe versus Wade?
Because you're not taking consideration the whites that are aborting babies in all these small hick towns in the middle of America.
They're a little misled, but at the same time, women at the end of the day still want a voice at the end of the day, whether they want to abort a baby.
Yeah, I know that.
But what's sad is that the high number of black babies that are being aborted. Now, after I looked at that stat, I was like, wow. But at the same time,
why?
Because it's like that. You know how many generations lost that is. Like you don't know what that kid could have been.
Everybody is just because you can have kids doesn't mean you're meant to have kids.
Yes.
They abort them kids for a reason.
Shout out to that, Vito.
Yeah,
shout out to that, Vito.
I mean,
shout out to that.
And
that goes back.
You know it takes two to tango, and you know what danger you get into before you get in that bed.
That's where it goes back to where I was saying the paying attention thing, because especially in today's society, where everything is going on, everybody is shoot 'em up, bang bang. There's no way that you have a teenage child and you're not totally in tune with what they got going on. You see what I'm saying? Because like Vito said, some people are not meant to be parents, even though they can be parents. You see what I'm saying? You got people running out having babies after a night out of partying, and all they know is partying. You got, like, even with, how do y'all feel about when females are pregnant and they still out drinking, partying, or they smoking and all that? How y'all feel about that?
I mean, that's messed up. But see, that goes along with how I don't agree with a lot of shit. You know that Philadelphia allows these pregnant women to be on these drugs. You ever heard of methadone clinics?
Yeah.
They're all across. There's one right by Ivy League, right in West Philly, right in smack dab in West Philly. So these Ivy League kids got to walk right next to that. And these folks are like Zombieland. And we're like, I'm actually paying out of my pocket taxes for these motherfuckers to get high.
Right.
I have a problem with that shit.
Right.
So that's fucked up.
Right. You got anything else, Vito? No. So, what's your thoughts, people? Y'all please help me out. Because there's a lot of conspiracy theorists out there. If we're talking about depopulation, and that's what it's about, please explain to me. They don't need to hear it, but I need to hear it. Why do we have Roe versus Wade being overturned where we can bring more babies into the world? Like, what is the reason for that if we're trying to depop? Keep it a C-note with me.
But let me ask you a question, though. What we talked about, like, last week. What do you think about if they're trying to depopulate us, right? And they got, like, all these farms, losing all this cattle. Where are these rich folks going to get these supplies from, too, if they're not ready available to the general public?
Like, who say they don't got them already? See? You don't got to put everything out there. I don't have to let you know everything I have. Mm-hmm. But
so you think those way up there, they know what's happening, what's about
everything. They're controlling.
If it's a movie the way y'all saying, these people know what's going on. Listen, that's where we need to get into. I hear a lot. Brother John, you got to let us know. Freemasons.
Oh, yeah,
I hear a lot about secret societies. I hear a lot about Illuminati. I got a lot of questions, y'all. I got a lot of questions like, if that's true, then why this and why that? So, we gonna give it to y'all in a couple weeks, pause. Yeah. You know what I'm talking about? I wanted to close with one thing. Philly music guy, I believe it was, commented on one of the posts about the YouTube video with Brittany Griner. If it was LeBron James and that, and I'm paraphrasing, but it will be on the screen. He said that LeBron James never had any issues and all of that. Basically like LeBron James never had any issues, so he wouldn't have put himself in that situation, so we wouldn't have had to go get him. And I see a lot of people are looking at, because when you look at Brittany Griner, she's more like a Dennis Rodman type of figure, where she's been in a lot of stuff, suspended a lot for fighting, and she's got a lot of stuff going on. So I don't know if he was trying to put those two together, but he was just basically saying that we would have never had to go get LeBron because he wouldn't have put himself in that situation.
Yeah, but he also got himself in trouble on Twitter.
With what?
Because when he retweeted, he was like, if I was her, would I even want to come back here? And
but I will say that, shout out to LeBron. This my little, I don't know if y'all got to say it with your chest moment before we leave, because everybody think I'm just the biggest LeBron hater, but my say it with your chest, maybe. But my biggest say it with your chest moment is shout out LeBron, because he came into the league as an 18-year-old kid. And I don't know too much off basketball stuff where he's gotten into where police was involved, where it was any negative bull crap.
You know
and for a kid to do that, like that, shout out to you. Like, I don't know, maybe he may have the best people cleaning his little messes up, but shout out to LeBron on the strength of that.
They got a beautiful family. Beautiful.
Anything else, y'all?
No, I'm good.
Well, we're about to wrap this episode up, people. Again, shout out Hustle and Heart for the cups. Call them a Uber. Shout out to Jose Cuervo, because that's what we drinking today. Shout out to everybody that's keep tuning in with us. If this your first time, again, hit the sub button, hit the like button. We definitely up out of here. As always, I'm your boy Brown. To the left of me, I got
your boy John.
And to the left of John, we got
Vito.
Time out, y'all. We need to do this over, right? Because we need to. I don't want to be the AKA guy every time. Like, we need a John, AKA Professor X, Vito, AKA Vito Samuels. Like, come on, man.
You talking about AKA? What's your AKA?
Mr. What Up, dog?
No, your AKA is call him an Uber because you tripping.
Call me an Uber.
Hold on, I forgot. Let me give my shout out. Let me give a shout out to something that we skipped past. Give a shout out to my man Professor X for putting Mike Vick and Deshaun Jackson on his list.
Yeah, shout out to that. Shout out to his Uber too. It will be pulling up.
What they play like?
Next couple.
How many years they play? 09 to 2013?
I don't know, but any list you put D-Jack on, man, I'm gonna wrap it up like this. I'm gonna wrap it up like this, and I'm gonna cut the microphones off. When you mention D-Jack, I get Debo Samuel vibes. I'm just saying. As always, people, tell a friend to tell everybody. Keep the C-note. We'll holla at y'all. Shit. This is what I'm feeling like. Da, 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 da. Let me tell you what I'm feeling like.